All right, here's the 9 again, everybody, right here. We're back to the 9. Small position size, shorting it, small position size with a stop just above the 9. Thank you. Small positions. Oh, this is going to stop me out. I've got to stop just above the 9. But listen, as long as it respects the 9, I'm going to trade off that 9 to the downside off a SPY. I've got my stop in place. There we go. It's green again. There we go. Looking good. Boom.
Order filled.
I'll take it. Another 100. Looks like it only collected 80. 35.83. Respected the 9 though.
Order filled.
Same drill. Shorting it. Nice. Nice. I'll take it.
Order filled.
500. Now up $4,007. Let's see. SPY here. Sitting at $600.88. That's what we were looking at before. This is where it popped.
That's a bullish side double bottom from Friday.
Oh, is it? Okay. And remember, we are 93 cents away from market close previous day, which is going to be close to $600.
Otherwise, we got $599.50 for a full double bottom.
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm waiting. Look at how the 9 is moving right to this 688 cents. You see how close this is all getting? The tighter that squeeze is, the more it's going to pop or drop, everybody, right? So now I'm really cautious. Just waiting. There it goes. Come on, baby. Break this 688. I'll flush this out and combine will be complete. Waiting for this right here, right now. This is a gold level to me, only because this is the spot that right here. Come on, a little more.
Order filled.
Shorting this here now. Small position sizes. This time I have 5 contracts. Looking for the looking for the pull here. There it goes. A little more. There it goes. Almost there.
Order filled.
I'll take it. I'm at $4,805. I am now $250 away from completion for combine. fine. Let's see. I'm going to go I guess I'll go 3 contracts, finish this thing out. Waiting right here patiently now. I'm actually going to wait for this to come down to around $600.12 is what I've got marked. Real close to it. I'm going to look for that for a bounce. If it does not bounce, then I will ride it to the downside. But that's what I'm waiting for right now, because we're going to go from green to red, but we are almost at close of previous day. So I'm going to look for a bounce.
Preservation of capital is more important than making money. And you want to lock in your trades, and you also want to protect your downsides at the same time.
And we are live here at AmericanDreamTrading.com 3 times each and every day, Monday through Friday. We had a pretty good day today. We had to earn our money today. It was a little bit choppy. We had a couple good EWOs, but other than that, we had to fight for our money.
By the way, he's already made over $1 million since being with us. But this is $1 million from a $700 account trading futures, which he's never even done before. Never traded a day in his life in the stock market. Now one of our training moderators, this is just in a 2.5-year time frame, right, is now a millionaire and one of the world's best futures traders, up their highest ranks. Mark, our very own Mark. Congratulations, partner.
Congrats,
Mark.
Mark.
That's awesome. Way to go, buddy, bro.
Congrats, Mark.
Give it up.
Deserve it.
Give it up.
.com.
Welcome, everybody, to American Dream Trading's The Aftermarket Live Chat and Watch Party. I am Dawn, your host, aka J&J Video Reacts, because I believe that life's not about just what happens to you, it's about how you react to it. And tonight, I am reacting to Mark McC, who is the futures training moderator over here at none other than AmericanDreamTrading.com. I'm going to let Mark do it the way Mark does it, because he and only he can do it the way that he does it. So welcome. We're going to have a conversation with Mark tonight, because I know there's a lot of you that have heard it, but you know, it's nice to just kind of get Mark to himself, just to kind of have him explain, you know, what his journey has been like. We've heard it in spurts, we've heard it in bits and pieces, but to just sit down and have a one-on-one with him tonight and let him just basically talk about, you know, how he got started. Because remember, Mark did not day trade before this. He did value investing back in the day. So it wasn't like he was completely oblivious to the stock market and trading and all of that, but he did not day trade, and he has learned so much from Coach. We all have, and Mark has just taken it to a whole nother level. I personally have a soft spot in my heart for Mark, because we spent a lot of mornings together in the pre-market, and you know, Mark, I've listened to him train people. He has trained me. We've pushed each other in a lot of ways. And, you know, it's cool that it's so funny. My wife, he always teases me about her being his favorite, but she said something. She said, you know, the people you are surrounding yourself with. I said, I know. So it's inevitable that it's going to rub off on all of us, guys. So Mark is one of those people, and I'm proud to call him a friend and just a good colleague and somebody that we all need in this group, because he kind of keeps things in line, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put the link down there, but do me a favor, let Mark just go ahead and click that. And then he has agreed to let people come up on the panel after he and I have had a one-on-one and just kind of chit-chat like we normally do, and you know, joke around a little bit, ask him questions and stuff like that. Okay, so for right now, I'm going to put this down there for you, Mark, so you can come on up on the panel and we can get this started. Let's see here. Where is the link? There it is. All right, cool beans. Let me go ahead and put it down there in the chat for you. Okay, there it is, Mark. And welcome to everybody who has shown up to kind of hang out with us and watch the interview. Welcome, J Dog. What's up, J Dog? How you doing, bud? All right, we got Michael Anthony down there. We got Eminem. What up, girl? How are you? Ronald Stewart. Miranda's down there. Robin SoFlo. What's up? Unhappily. What up, girl? How are you? Doug. Ange. Mark. And also we know he had some sinus issues, so thank you so much for coming on tonight. He said he's feeling better, but still, I know that's a pain in the ass. Okay, let's get everything right here. And there we go. Hey, you.
Hey, American Dream Trading.
Yay. Let me go ahead and change this music. How are you this afternoon? So you said you're feeling better, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm not sick, but yet it's like I got something going on in my one sinus. I don't know what it is. My nose ain't dripping. It ain't running. It ain't nothing. I just like.
We know what it is, don't we, Ange? He's getting cleaned out.
Yeah.
He's
probably be
cleaned
poisoned
out.
by your moringa is what
It
it
is
is.
not. No, it's not.
Got me on
and
that
I know
green-
that's what you're thinking.
That green goop making me drink every day. Even got
You
my
know
wife
what?
drinking it.
You probably are manifesting some symptoms because you're expecting something weird to happen to you. You're manifesting it. Stop it.
I'm just mean. It's a meanness in me. It's trying to get out. Moringa's pushing out the mean. I can't have that.
The mean.
Get off my lawn.
Look, you're drinking your lawn now.
Yeah. Might as well just go out in the backyard. If I didn't have
Stop
a dog.
drinking my lawn. So talk to us, Mark. So I'm interested to hear about the value investing because day trading is not your first go round with the stock market.
No, I mean, I'm like everybody else. I have my 401k and all that stuff over the years. And I picked I was always picked the stock sector, market for investing 401k. But there was me and one other gentleman that worked for me, one of my employees, that we got always to start talking about stocks. And I had a good friend that was in the stocks. She was an older lady. She'd been investing all her life since the Depression, actually. She was buying stocks during the Depression, and she'd been buying and holding. And she shared with me, the value of her accounts.
So wait a minute. Didn't the stock market crash cause the Depression?
Yeah, it led to it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's policies and everything else. But yeah. So it just got me interested in it more. And so eventually, it was mainly with the other guy at work. It was like, why don't we start a stock investment club? So at that time, I can't even think of the book now. But anyway, it was what Warren Buffett, how he invests, value investing, buying good companies, holding them for a long time, right? You're buying good companies that are at a good value that offer something special, right?
Right.
A little bit different than everybody else, and learning how to read corporate reports, earnings, and all the different things, financial reports and stuff. So we got into that. We bought the book that. I knew he was going to ask this question. I looked it up. What was his name? Graham? I forget. Warren Buffett followed the other guy who he knew personally and wrote the book that Warren based a lot of his stuff on, which is basically value investing, and you can find it. So it was basically how to do that stuff. And so we formed an investment club at work, and there was probably, 20 of us maybe in it at one time. So every month we just met once a month.
at work. The company was generous enough to let us use one of their conference room on our own time after work once a month. And so that was, of course, before the internet, right? Before the interwebs. So we used, actually what we used was one news course that we read in the newspaper. Also, I guess, I don't know if it's still around or not, probably is, Value Line. They published well, if you had a subscription to it, you got it. It was just
like a magazine?
Well, it's like a single sheet that would come out it would give you everything there is to know about the company, all this stuff on one piece of paper. It was printed on the front and the back. And then you collect them over time. You had a subscription, but we were too cheap and broke to do that, so we just go to the library and use theirs. So and find stuff that we like.
Copy it.
Yeah, well, we use their available resources. Let's just say that. And then everybody would pick out one or two that they really liked and had to come and sell the reason why we should buy it as an investment group. So, the 15 to 20 of us that were in it, we do that meet every month, and sometimes we wouldn't take any action. Sometimes we all had to pay X amount of dollars every month. It was a subscription-based program before that existed. So you had to pay that fee every month out of your, directly every month. We had a treasurer. I was the president. We had vice president. It was a structured organization.
Nice.
As a matter of fact, it was even a partnership. We went that far after we was in it for a little while. We're like, hey, we're making some money. We better make this legal.
Right.
So
you're
we
just
did
a leader
that
all the way around, Mark. I mean, I'm just seeing the pattern here. Where you worked at, you were a manager. There, you were a leader. Here, you're a leader. That's just who you are.
Just the way I was raised. I mean, you lead or follow. I'd rather follow, but and I was in scouting, and of course, became an Eagle Scout. So I did all that stuff. But I've just been raised that way. My whole life's been involved in some form of leadership. Doesn't make me a good one, but as a boomer, all I got to do is growl and snarl and whatever. That doesn't work in today's society. They cry if you yell at them. Now you get sued if you yell at them. But anyway, we won't go down. I know. So we started that, and we did that probably for probably close to 5 years before the company shut the doors. We averaged 18% back then, just on stocks.
Oh, that's damn good.
Year. Yeah, it was good money. I forget what we all put in. I don't know if it wasn't a lot of money. It was like 100 or 200, I think, a month. I can't remember for sure now. It's been so long ago. That was back in the late 80s, early 90s. So, so then we had to send the money to a broker, right? Had a broker. And then the internet came along, and then we got
right, because you couldn't just go online and trade yourself.
No, yeah.
I forgot about that.
And send it in, right? So, we would write them a check every month, send it in. And then the internet kicked in, and then, the brokerage, some of them, was it Ameritrade? I think it was. I can't remember. We started out, it was expensive, like $21 a commission or something to do it. And I can't remember if it was Ameritrade or E-Trade, whatever. One of the first ones that the brokerages took advantage of the internet. It was like $7.95 a trade or something. So we ended up going with that, and just kept with them for quite a few years. And then, once the company dissolved, closed their doors due to, we won't go down that rabbit hole either. You just get me pissed off. So we won't go down that rabbit hole. But we just had to dissolve, and we paid everybody paid out, their percentage that they had in it. So that was value investing, totally different. I came in here and got in with the American Dream Trading through another member that's in here who is an OG from the very beginning, who doesn't speak, and I haven't yet to hear him speak since I joined here, but he's the one that recommended it. Take a look at it. And I watched Coach on YouTube for a couple of days and wrote him.
So you didn't come in the traditional way that we all came in, like through TikTok. I
never even watched TikTok till I got in here, American Dream Trading. You guys sucked me into that rabbit hole. I got rid of Facebook. I got rid of Facebook because that's all I ever did was look at it, right? The time waster. Now I'm on TikTok. So that's all I do now. Look at TikTok.
Now you're on there.
Yeah, now I'm on. I is on TikTok. Yeah. But no, I did it through YouTube. So that's how this member who I won't name.
So does this member know? He knows he's been following this, right? He just
he's
doesn't
not,
speak out.
he doesn't speak out, and he's hardly ever on because he's basically babysitting his kids all day long. So he only has a limited amount of time to invest every day. He's a stock trader. That's all he does is stocks. He doesn't really do much. Yeah,
Does
he
he
don't
know
talk.
what you've done?
He does now because he heard Coach scrambling on there the other day about it. So yeah, he sent me a text and stuff, and I've seen him since. So yeah, he was real happy. So
Wow.
anyway, I'm very visible with American Dream Trading. My ugly mug's on every day, and I run my gums and spew out stuff out of my pie hole all day long on American Dream Trading. But
Which we
yeah,
love.
to be public like this, it's a little unnerving, kind of to have this information out there. I have received one text that I didn't really want to get, so we'll see how this goes. I might come on
Yeah.
from now with a bag over my head, and you won't know who I am. A lot of people will probably appreciate that, but anyway, yeah, I started out value investing, and then once the company went out of business, closed their doors. This was a 110-year-old company. Anyway, I didn't do anything more other than just the 401ks at work, that kind of thing. And then I got turned on to American Dream Trading. Watched Coach maybe 3 times on YouTube. I'm like,
Wow.
I like this guy's style. I like how he teaches. He makes it so you can understand it. You
Keeps
can
it
see
real.
that. You can see the empathy that he really does care what he's talking about, right? And he knows what he's talking about. So that comes through in the way he talks and presents himself. So I was like third day. I just bought the lifetime membership right off the bat. I didn't even wait. I was like, bam. And then
Yeah, because Wayman, you did every program, and I need to make mention of this. Mark truly invested in not only Coach but himself, because every program Coach put out, Mark invested in it. Mark got everything.
Yeah,
isn't that right?
Well, yeah. When I joined, it was just what would be called the premium membership now.
Yeah.
Right. Original lifetime, and then he added the VIP Gold. I've bought every single membership except for the futures membership because I was a moderator when Ange and Aaron put this all to help Coach put this all together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as a moderator, we get our memberships taken care of, right? So that's the only one I didn't pay for initially out of pocket. So, but yeah, the VIP and the VIP Gold was really the turning point in our training because it's just so extensive. I mean, even what it is today compared to them, it's just unreal, right? It's just mind blowing.
So much extra training. There's so much offered now that wasn't offered even when I came in. The extra rooms,
we joined the same month.
Yeah, within a week or two of each other.
Yeah, I think you actually joined like slightly less than a week than I did. So
great, Mark. Now you're making me feel even worse that you've now reached this level and I'm still hovering.
Everybody's got their journey.
Different time frames. That's all.
You don't compare yourself to other people, right?
That's right.
Just continue the journey. Some people catch it quicker than others. It took me a long time, but
yeah,
something clicked somewhere. Light bulb finally. I tell people it was about 10 months of showing up every day. 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day. Once he created that. Well, actually, Coach was on 16 hours a day practically, right?
Yeah, he was.
About killed him. I mean, literally, right? Seeing his health decline because of it, right?
Yeah. So, he would get red, and I was worried about him.
It's just too much. So I'm glad he's got to the point where he's at now, that he's got moderators that people like Bruno and the girls that can run things in the background and take care of the corporation. How it needs to be ran, right? So it frees him up to do what he wants to do, teach, right? Coach. That's what he does. It's his calling. So yeah, I mean, it was really being in there with Coach every day, putting the time in, right? And then once I got the VIP and the VIP Gold, that gets you into pre-market, and getting in there and hanging out, learning that was after about a year though, before that happened, right?
Right.
So it's not that the pre-market didn't exist. I just wasn't part of it first year, which was probably good, right? Because I traded stock option. I started right off the bat with American Dream Trading, not listening to the sound of Coach's voice. Like, I ain't trading them stupid stocks. I'm going to go options. Those are sexy.
I did the same thing.
Right? Did a bass backwards. And that was I was successful, with it my first year. That's all I did was options. I mean, occasional pre-market stocks, right? But
Mhm.
basically, it was just trading options, and that was lose a lot of money, make a little bit of money, lose a lot of money, make a little money, lose a lot of money, make some big money. Finally, you got going. After about 10 months, I think, is where the light bulb kind of moment happened the first year. I mean, I did make over 6 figures in my first year, so I'm not complaining,
So
But-
let me ask you this: you learned how to trade options from Coach?
Yeah, I didn't know what an option was.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
I didn't know none of that. Only thing I knew was how to buy a stock and how to evaluate a stock on its financial report, and that's not what day trading is. We don't even know 99% of these things you trade what they even make or do. Right? They're
Yep.
here. We're here to get in for
We're not
2 minutes,
marrying 'em.
and we don't look at them ever again. Right? Unless they pop back up, then we trade them again. But yeah, that's a totally different world. And I'm still a firm believer. I don't practice it personally anymore, buy and hold, but we do have some members in here that are long-term investors.
Yep.
Dave S, right? Him and his daughter, they're
Absolutely.
buying. Look at what's done for them, right? Little by little over the years. I mean, Warren Buffett, to me, he's my hero in the investing world, right? Nobody can compare to him. I don't care what these other people claim to be, right? Other than Coach, of course, Coach is my favorite, but Warren Buffett's who I admire, I guess, right? Because that was
Mhm.
my introduction. And he makes more dividends every month, right? It's unreal that their company earnings, how much just in dividends they get from all these companies he's bought over the years. So again, he's
Yeah,
stepping
but you
down.
know what? Even he would be impressed with what you've just done. I mean,
Whatever.
that's unheard of. That's
Yeah.
literally unheard of. What
It's
you
just
did,
math.
$700. I know, Mark, but
It's just
that's
math,
insane.
right? Yeah,
You
so
know?
he still is my hero. Anytime I see an article with Warren Buffett's name or picture in it, I read it.
Right.
I just like him a lot and how he thinks and stuff, right? I mean, he's a powerful man in the financial world. If he
Mhm.
wants something, he's going to get it. But of course, he announced he's stepping down from Berkshire halfway at the end of the year. But anyway, neither here nor there. But that's how I got my start, and that was my guidepost into the investing world. But then, I went decades without any of that, other than just the 401ks at work. So I
Right.
discovered ADT, listened to the sound of Coach's voice, other than the part where he said, "Buy stocks first." I almost feel guilty, but you want to, as a moderator, we encourage people to do that very thing, and I
Yeah.
didn't do it. But that doesn't mean I can't tell people the right way. That is the right way to do it. I wish I would
Exactly.
have done it. Right? There's steps. People come into the futures lives. Oh, what membership do you think I get? You know how much I choke when I say not futures, and I say get the VIP Gold Complete, because that's where
Right.
the most extensive training. Do I want to promote what I'm promoting? Well, sure, but it's not that we won't train somebody up from zero. We have many members in here that have never traded a day in their life, and we're training them from ground up, and that's great. I enjoy
That's
that too. But if you want
Me
the
too.
maximum amount availability, VIP Gold Complete.
Speaking of pre-market too, what made you get up one morning and decide, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and hang out in the pre-market and get some of this?
I have no
this
idea.
learn?
I have no idea. Why did I? Because I'm a midnight person. I've always been a night owl. Maybe it's because I
Because
just started
pre-market's
waking
not
up.
the first time you were in pre-market. Because I remember dipping in
Yeah.
every now and then, and I'd hear you and Callie and a couple of you guys talking. It wasn't structured like it is now.
No, not at all.
Ralph would be in
I
there.
don't remember. I know I was in there before it was restricted to VIP Gold and up memberships.
Yeah.
I can't. I know I was in and out of there, but I really wasn't in there. So it was probably after a year I went in full time, and the whole day, all the time, every day. And I'm glad I did that, because that really got me back to trading stocks and evaluating quick trades. That's where I learned to scalp, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did nothing but the EWO the first year I was trading. I didn't know what an L2 was, didn't need it. It's just a tool. You don't have to have the L2. Would I want to trade without the L2 now? Absolutely not. I love the L2. I was scalping today on nothing but the L2. Wasn't even really looking at my chart. I was staring at the L2 numbers, right? Making my buy in and out. So that's where the training ground is, and that's why I still tell people to this day, if you want to learn the L2, the nitty gritty, and learn it in real time when the market's slower, there's less volume. The L2 doesn't roll around 100 mile an hour, because you during the open market, it'd be nearly impossible to really give somebody a good education on the L2. Because the time you say, right, see this right here, it's gone, right? Because the volume.
It is. It rolls so fast.
Yeah. So the pre-market's where it's at. And let's face it, 90% of the pre-market trading sucks because you get a burst at the beginning, you get a burst maybe in the middle, and then 7 o'clock comes along, you get a burst, 8 o'clock comes along, you'll get some bursting. But all that in between, I mean,
dead air.
Anybody's been in the pre-market knows where our conversations will go when the market's not.
It goes right to L2 and stuff like
L2
that.
or how's the weather, or what my kids did, what I ate for dinner, moringa. So there's a lot of opportunities there in a slow environment that you can take the time and teach these things, right? So that's why I tell everybody, once you learn the basics, get the stuff down and you understand stocks, and if you want to dabble in it and go in the options, that's fine. But to learn, scalping, because that's all you can do. It's an in and out. There's no trading to the downside. It's all upside trading. You got to learn to follow the 9, when to get in, when to get out, and using the L2 is pretty much key to, in my opinion, using the L2 effectively is the key to successful trading in the pre-market, because you can see the walls and stuff, right? So
right,
especially since you're trading something that there's not much of a chart for anyway, right? So
right, exactly.
So,
usually they're pump and dumps.
Yeah, right. So you need to learn to recognize it, and you're going to tell that by just with lines on a chart, right? So that's where the L2 really helps be profitable in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So yeah, then I'm still go in there now. I mean, obviously I've went to futures, even though I'm still up at the same time every day. I'm not necessarily hanging out.
Okay,
I'm trading on my own.
I gotta ask you, what the hell made you decide? Because one morning it's us in there, and you said, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and try this futures thing. I'm trading gold right now." And every morning you started popping in with a gold update. Like, I just made $800 on gold paper trading. What made you want to do futures?
Another tool in the tool belt. Right?
Really? Okay.
Ange and Aaron and Coach were starting to talk about it. They were building it up, right? And of course, at that time, as being a moderator, we have insights that regular paid members don't, right? We can see what's going on and being built from the ground up behind the scenes, right? Coach is coming out with new products that aren't released yet, but yet we can see it. We have input into them, right? He'll ask our opinion, and we'll throw our opinion in when he doesn't ask for it. So I could see this coming, right? And I could see the work that Coach and Ange and Aaron and Bruno and everybody else that was involved in building this up behind the scenes. That's a lot of work to take something that's nothing and create all the documents and videos and all that. So they put there's a lot of sweat equity into building this program up from nothing to where it is today. And then of course, I got in there and I had a misconception, seriously, about what futures were. I always thought it was something super risky, and you could lose your house by trading it and all this stuff, right? So I had a preconceived notion that was totally wrong. It was 100% wrong, right? So once I got in there, I'm like, dang, I know how to do this. Why? Because I already was trained by Coach on how to trade stocks, how to trade stock options, how to trade into pre-market. I already do. I literally walked in there. I'm like, I could do this.
I have to be honest with you. That kept me out of it for the longest time. The whole lose your house thing, the whole you can lose more than you put. For the longest time, when I initially heard about it, I wrote it off. I'm like, oh, well, I'm not doing that. I remember saying, I will never do that. And then the more we kept hearing about your success, the more intrigued I became by it, like anybody else would be in the group, which is why it's growing, right? And then once we got over there, then it became a thing of, okay, I want to do it. I just don't have $500 to put in there as a minimum. Well, then once I had a couple of good trading days, I committed. If you commit, you can do anything you want to do. I didn't want to do it. I could have put that $500 in there. I could have put some money aside, and I didn't want. But after you, Mark, kept having so much success, Ange was having the success she had, I'm like, damn, you know what? What is going on? And it's margin, and there's no Greeks. Well, wait a minute. You know what I mean? All I have to do is use stops and not be stupid. I can control the whole losing my account and getting a margin call thing, right? And so, yeah, when I had the 500, I put in there, and I got to tell you, it was one of the best decisions I've ever made since I've been in this group, because I truly believe that futures is the thing that is going to take me to the next level. I just love doing it. It's a lot more stress-free than options are.
Yeah. All right.
to
Now,
me.
again, every investment vehicle, whether it's stock options, crypto, futures,
Yeah.
all have an element of risk. You could lose
It got
it
me
all.
using stops.
Is everybody, is everybody in the futures membership successful? No. Have there some come and gone already? Absolutely. They come in just like any other, being in with coach, don't want to listen to the sound of the voice, right? Don't want to apply coach's rule. Everything that coach teaches, every principle, every strategy, everything that coach teaches that is American Dream trading, 100% applies to futures. If you could trade stocks, if you could trade stock options, you can do futures. I promise you. And that is what kept me away initially, is that fear. Oh, I don't want to trade on margin. I said it from the day I walked in, because, you know, you hear the other members that are successful and have the account that they could actually have a stock and stock options margin. Now it's a little bit different. We won't get into all that, but you know, I don't want margin. I ain't gonna lose my house, right? By making a bad trade because of that fear. But if you use stops, you aren't going to, right? You can only lose so much when you have a stop, right?
Right.
As long as you don't trade without stops. Isn't that one of coach's 7 basic rules? Never ever trade without a stop. So don't do that. You won't lose your account. It's that simple, right? If you set your limit to no more losses than 1 to 3% of your total trading account in one day, you won't wreck your account. It's mathematically impossible. It'll take 15 years if you follow coach's rules to lose your entire account if you just follow coach's rules. If you have 2 or more red days in a row, 30 days off training, right? Rinse and repeat. If you're the world's worst trader that the world's ever created, it would take you 15 years to blow up your total account mathematically. If you don't believe it, ask ChatGPT. Hey, if I have 2 red days in a row and I have to take 30 days off and I repeat that same cycle, how long will it take me to lose $1,000 or whatever, right? To go to zero. It's 50. It's literally 15 years, right? So it's math. Futures, same way, right? I love it because I don't have to deal with the thing that's attractive to me is I don't have to deal with the Greeks and like we do with stock options, right?
Me too.
So, you know, in stock options, you have the advantage of trading stock options is that when the price goes up, it accelerates because of the Greeks that's involved, the math that's built into
that
a contract, right? So if it accelerates, man, your earnings accelerate, right? Now the downside is if it drops, it goes the opposite way of the position you're in, you have accelerated losses. So once you have that acceleration of losses, you may have lost, let's just say you lost $1. And again, I'm exaggerating for on purpose. But if it drops and you lose $1, you may have to make $3 back just to get that $1 back, the way that the contracts are designed, right? So there was always that, you know, if you get in a losing trade in stock options, now you gotta, you know, unless you want to pull the Band-Aid off, which you should do, right? But now you're staying in a trade longer than you intended to. You develop hopium. Oh my gosh, I just lost $500. I got to stay in this trade longer.
Right.
Hope it goes back up, and then it goes back up to where you lost it, but you're still down. So now you got to wait for it to get higher, and then by that time is
it'll go the other
contract. So again, what I'm saying is true, but I'm exaggerating the extent of it. But and then with futures, you don't have any Greeks. There's no delta, gamma, theta, gamma, blah, 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 whatever. All the Greeks. You know, if you're getting paid $12.50 for every tick that it goes up, if it goes up 1 tick, you make $12.50. If it drops 1 tick, you lose $12.50. Well, if it goes back up 1 tick, you make $12.50 back. There's none of this, you know, well, now I got to make 3 ticks to get my 1 tick back, right? So that's the appealing thing to me. And understanding margin, as long as you're using a stop, your losses are limited. And it's the same thing Coach preaches every single day. Had I really realized back then, I would have had a margin account I wouldn't have done it when I first got one, but when I got experience after a year or so, I may have looked into doing margin trading, but I'm glad I didn't, right? That'd been just too much pressure. And I probably wouldn't have been ready for it anyway, right? The experience and the knowledge. But as long as you have a stop, I mean, yes, on paper you can lose more than what's in your account, and you can get a margin call. Again, it's written into most brokers' instructions or legal contracts that they reserve the right to close your account if your account gets too low and you're inside of a trade. In other words, you're going to lose more money. They reserve the right to kick you out of that investment, right? That still doesn't mean you can't, if it magically pulls and you go to less than zero, well, yeah, you're going to get a margin call. So, but they do. We've had three people that I can remember that have actually got their account. They were in a trade and it went against them, and they kept writing it down for whatever reason, and their account went down to like 7% of what it was, and based on the price they bought it on and the price it was, the broker killed that trade, and they got a "you're in trouble" notification, right? It wasn't that they got kicked out or anything, but they had to put more money in it and cover stuff. So, but one of them admitted they weren't using a stop. The other two wouldn't admit nothing. I'm going to guess there was no stop involved, right? So
it had to be,
or it was too big, right? So as long as you trade with a stop, yeah, that ain't going to happen. That was my preconceived notion, that it was super risky. I could lose my house, lose everything. Come in and say, "Oh my God, I'm down $50,000 in the hole that I didn't have." That ain't going to happen. It can't happen, right? So, get away from that fear. I equate it more to trading stocks than anything, because you don't have the Greeks. Price of the stock goes up $1, you make $1. If it drops 50 cents, you lose 50 cents, right? Now, the way futures contracts are structured, they take a point. We like to call it $1, but it's really called a point. But we think in dollars and cents, right? So for every dollar, it goes up. Every dollar is divided by whatever that contract. Gold's divided in 10-cent increments. So every penny it goes up, you make $10.
And that's what ticks are, right?
Yeah, that's what it ticks. So there's 10 ticks, 10 divisions of that point, and it's a fixed amount you get paid for each tick. Same way, the indices, they're divided into fourths. So there's 4 ticks to a point or a dollar, if you want to think of it that way. And that's
all the indices?
Yeah, I think all of them are quarter divided into fourths, I think. Now, they're all different values, but so like ES, you get paid $12.50 for a tick. There's 4 ticks to a point, $1, right? So if it goes up 2, you've made $12.50 times 2, right? $25. If it drops 1, you lost $12.50, right? So if it goes back up, you get that $12.50 back. So that is very appealing. You don't have to fight to wait for it to get that much higher, and it's more fluid. It's less stress. To me, it's less stress too, because you don't have that, "Oh my gosh, I lost $1. Now I got to make 3 to get it all back, just to break even," right? So, yeah, once I got in there, I mean, the only thing I had to do, well, I shouldn't say the only thing, but the main thing I had to do that took some adjustment was setting our stop losses, right? Because everything's based on ticks. I mean, you could set it for dollars or percentages, but not knowing, and we all were probably kind of green, right? We all figured it out together. It's easy with the options. Coach gives us a formula: 25 to 40% stop loss on your entry. Well, there ain't, you can think 30% in a futures contract. That's a lot of money. So you got to figure that out based on your loss. And I mean, my standard's 25 ticks. And if it's especially for the indices, and if it's something like oil or something else that I'm trading, or currencies, I still go with the 25 tick. But once I get into trade, then I'll slide it up to where I really want it at.
Yeah.
So if you could trade the stocks, if you could trade stock options, I can assure you, with coaches training that you've already received, you can be successful in trading futures. Now, does that mean you need to come in and throw $10,000 in a trading account? Absolutely not. How do we start out anything new that we're learning, Dawn?
Small positions.
And paper trading, right?
Yep.
My paper trading, even though I had the skills, and I recognized right off the bat that I had the necessary skills, which was shocking. I didn't realize it, right, till I got there. Like, dang, I know how to do this. I still paper traded for 3 weeks. I traded a micro oil, MCL. I did that for 3 weeks. And then I set my money in and funded my account. I could have thrown, gobs of money at it, but I didn't. And the reason I didn't is because I don't like being beat by a girl. And Ange come in there. She started with $500 and ran her account up very successfully. Right? She really is really my inspiration. But don't tell her that. I don't want that getting out. So
She inspires a lot of us.
yeah, she makes me do things in there now I don't want to do. Play the EWO. I don't want to play the EWO.
She has coined you Boomer. Why didn't we
Yes, she
think of
did.
that before? You have always called yourself a Boomer, and she's the only one that thought to nickname you Boomer. It's the perfect nickname for you.
Yeah. Well, she's a very smart person. You know, she's highly intelligent. She knows what she's talking about. She's a fantastic trainer. I mean, if she can
And she's
teach
just
me
all around
something,
good
she can teach
people.
anybody. She is. She is. Um, so, you know, her and Aaron really worked hard and, you know, doing that, taking coaches what he wanted to get done and got it done and kicked off the future. So you come in and I mean, we have OGs of American Dream Trading coming in now, right? I won't name who they are, but they know who they are. And then they ask the same question. I'm like, don't come in here throwing, even though you may have a $1 billion account, don't be coming in here like that. Keep your money where it's at, right? Start with a small account. To me, that building at $500 or in my case, $700 up to where it is, where, you know, the money that it's generated over time, that is probably the most satisfying thing I've ever done since joining American Dream Trading. Because I came in to American Dream Trading with a lot of money. I have my retirement account, right? So I was trading, and I still am, but not like I was. And so I've told all of them. You can ask any of them that's in there. You know who I'm talking about. Come in, trade micros. Start like you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing, honey, right? So come in and trade micros, right? And start out trading one micro and then build your account up. I mean, we have no control what they throw in there, but they've all told us what they put in there, right? So we know they are starting small and they're going to build their account up one micro at a time. Once they get enough money in there to maybe they can afford two and a little bit of a buffer in case you lose, right? Then buy two. Do that for a while. When you get enough that you can buy three, well, you want to make sure you have three plus. Maybe say I can afford four. Well, then buy three because in case you lose, you got to have that room in there, right? You don't want the broker closing you out of your trade. So, and then do that. And I don't even remember buying four. I don't think I've ever bought four. I remember going for three, and I think I went to five. Once I got to five, I skipped the four, I think. But once I got to five micros, instead of making $5 or $8 or $10 a trade, now I'm making 5 times that. So I'm now making right $25 and $50 every trade, and I'm doing that 20, 30 times a day easily. Honestly, I was doing it more than that, but you know what I'm saying. Because with futures, unlike stocks and stock options, you get instant cash settlement of your account. So as soon as I exit that trade, I can retrade that money in. I can trade 10,000 times a day if I wanted to. However fast you can click the mouse, you can trade it, right? Don't suggest doing that, but so yeah, once I got to that 5 micros, built my $700 up enough to where I could afford 5 micros, then that was kind of the sweet spot. That's when my account building started going exponentially higher. And then I got to the point where I could afford to buy a 1 micro or E mini, which is the big boys, right? It's 10 times the cost and 10 times the payout, right, per tick. So I waited till I had more than enough to buy one. Then as soon as I got so then I traded 1 E mini. That's the more expensive ones. You have to have money in your account for those, right? You can't just jump in there. So I just traded 1 for a long time. Eventually I got up to 2, did that for a long time. My account kept growing, and you know, and I would get so much in there and then I'd pull it out, right? So I quit. So I stopped doing that. I left it in there enough, you know, to where I could get three micros. And I did that the longest time. And again, I skipped 4 again. I don't know why. And I went to 5, and I stayed at 5 for the longest time. And today I was trading 50 contracts.
Wow.
So, but that didn't happen overnight. I started training in middle October, maybe. Was it the middle of October, end of October?
So you went from 30 to 50 is your number now.
I did it. Well, no, it's not my number, but that's what I was doing today. Just because I could, really, because I hadn't pulled any money out and it was there. And I'm like, I had no intention of letting it sit there. I was literally in trading 1 candle at that, right? Once in a while, if it was a good pull. Today was not the day to do that, but I did it, and I was trading one candle, trading between, anyway, scalping. I got shamed into doing an EWO by one of our members, and I said, all right, that you called me out publicly, I'll trade EWOs. So I got into EWO. That lasted about 5 minutes, and it started hitting chop. I'm like, nah, I ain't giving up this money.
I heard
ready
you.
ready to scalp mode.
It's
I'm
like,
like, that's all I did.
I'm not doing that EWO.
So,
The hell with
no,
that EWO.
yeah, that's what I said.
It
too.
wasn't
I
an
didn't even
EWO
make
day,
it.
though.
Well, no, but there was plenty of opportunities to get in. There was one really good EWO on ES today, but there was other sectors. I mean, and I believe
Oil.
Ange was in it. Oil, cattle, other agricultural products that just had beautiful. I mean, straight up, straight down EWOs. But I had blinders on. I was so concentrated on ES, and I have. You've been there. I have a share of my screen that has 10 different.
Yeah.
Representing most of the sectors, right, that we can watch. So in the EWO's form, we can say, oh, EWO, maybe we want to look at that, right? Never looked at that the whole time, and it's sitting right there in front of me. I was just so blinded looking at EWOs. And don't feel bad for me. I did very well today. First number started with a 6, all right? So I did okay.
Yeah.
So, but it was a lot. I haven't even wanted to look, and I'm not going to. I bet I traded 200 times today, easy.
Wow.
May even be more than that. In and out. That's not the way to trade, right? But I was trading purposefully, right? I had a reason for what I was doing, and I was in a channel, and it was going up and down in that channel, and I traded when it went up and hit, and catch the bounce down at the, like off of VWAP or off of one of the indicators, back down to the gold level that it was bouncing, and catch the bounce, run it back up to the VWAP again, sell it at VWAP, jump back in at the VWAP, run the bounce down, and that worked very well all day. Did I lose some trades? Oh yeah, I got my face ripped off a couple of times. And but no, 30 is, I would say, my comfort level. So, but that is a lot of money that you have to have in your account to be able to do that, right? You can go look at what the margin rates are for ES, and I'll tell you, they're what are they? 1,400 and something now. It used to be 960. I think they're 1,450 or something like that now. But so you can do the math on your own, see what kind of things I was trading today. So it's not for the faint of heart, but I'm more comfortable now. It's just clicking a mouse. I've gotten to that point now. It's just a number. Wasn't any hard to click that mouse on 50 than it was 10.
Yeah.
Right. As long as you don't look at the P&L.
Which you started that a long time ago, not looking at your P&L.
Oh yeah. I started that even when I was trading stock options. So
yep.
If you do that, you're going to just scare yourself. If you're a good trader and you got good techniques and you understand coaches' rules and coaches' trading strategies, you'll be just fine. If you're successful, whatever your definition of success is, trading stocks and or stock options, you will do very well trading futures. I can assure you that, as long as you continue to follow coaches' rules. So yeah, I started with 700, and I mean, I had no way could you ever phantom where I'm at now, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I have that money sitting in the bank, because my goal, I tell everybody's been pretty upfront and honest about what my goal is for this year, and I guess I've achieved it. It's not official yet, but I have achieved it, paying down debt, right? So I have some things I have to get in place before I can do it 100%. But so yeah, I'm very comfortable. To me, trading futures is what changed my life. Some reason, I mean, I know what it is. It's the experience, right? Showing up every day, 4 a.m. to 4 p.m., putting in the work, right? Showing up. Becoming a moderator also helped me, because now I got to teach stuff, right? I was doing that before I went to the futures, right?
Right.
And then, so, if you want to learn something, try teaching it, right? And knowing what you're talking about. So
absolutely,
it didn't happen overnight. It's making $5, $8, $10 on them micros. Was it painful? Yeah, but I just would lock in my trade, scalping $8, $10 at a time. Lock it in. It ain't profit till you lock it in.
That's it.
Does that go with coach's rule, letting your runners run? Nope. But that's how I did it. So, in fact, I had that discussion with coach. So Yeah, I'm just jumping. He asked me basically how I was doing or how I was doing it. And he's like, I said, well, coach, I'm just jumping in and out. Sometimes I'm only trading one candle. I see 8, 10, 15 bucks on. You make 20 bucks on one micro. That's huge. That's like making $2,000 on a mini, right?
Right.
So,
but Coach trades very similarly. Coach,
yeah, well, that's what he told me.
trains that
If
way,
it works,
but Coach
do
himself
it.
doesn't do it. Yeah.
Right. I
'Cause
mean, who am I to say if it works? It's the same way, whatever indicators and goofy things you want to put on your chart and things you see and how you interpret. If it works for you, who am I to say not to do it? Right?
Absolutely.
It works, and it works for your brain and the way you think. Well, then do it. Just follow Coach's rules. Man knows what he's talking about. So, anyhow, speaking of my heroes, there's one right there.
F2. What's up, $7,000? I heard about you.
What? Today?
No, Monday.
Yeah. Wow.
I did 1,800 today.
Congratulations.
I've been having to work quite a bit the last few days, holiday weekend and everything, and
yeah. Well, again, it's
been working on
you, man.
Build your testimony of your future self in here. The cool thing is we've got to see you from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I've been guiding myself into taking larger positions a little bit at a time and stuff like you just talked about and stuff. Like I'm at my comfort level and adding one here and there to work through it. So I'm finding that to be a challenge. So hey, Callie.
Hey, Cal.
Hey, Callie, your curtains must be on fire. I don't know. Something's burning. Okay. Love you. No, answer. Yeah, that's good. You're really coming along. Another example. Miranda says, if I were trading options with a margin now, I would think I would hit the same goal? I don't know. I don't think I still wouldn't use a margin account over there. I don't know. And quite frankly, I haven't traded an option since November. I'm kind of scared. That's why I'm thinking about going over, maybe just spending a day and doing it, trading back to stock options.
Yeah.
To test my metal. Test
yourself where you're at and what you're capable of.
Yeah, I haven't done it since. I haven't traded a stock option since November. I have no intention ever trading one again, but I'm starting to think, well, maybe I ought to go back over just to see my growth and how I trade to trade, right? Because I'm more confident. I would say laser focused on watching. I think I've learned to focus my energy watching the candle, watching the L2 at the same time, and not pissing around, get in, get out, right? So,
right.
I probably will do that here shortly because that's been in the back of my mind. I did well for 2 years trading stock options. Don't get me wrong, but I think I would do a lot better now. I think I would.
I think you would end up having some of those Palm Coast days because when I dipped back into IWM that one day and how quick I got to like $40, $60, I'm like, holy shit, this would have taken me an hour to do this in futures, even though I like the logistics of futures better. Right. But that leverage, oh my God, Mark.
Yeah.
Dude, with your skill now,
I'm not going back, Coach. So I'm not coming back to stock options. I'll still show up in the pre-market.
It's scary.
But I'm into. You know what I like now about being in the pre-market? When the pre-market sucks, I could trade futures.
Yeah, right.
Which is 90% of the time.
Yep.
But, no, it's a whole new world, and it's changed my life, obviously. I still show up every day, but when the first day I made new car money, that was a big deal. I got excited when I made I'd have to go back and look, but I know I messaged Coach. I was all excited. I made like $5,000 in like a couple of minutes or something. And I sent a screenshot when I have good days, I'll send Coach a screenshot, just to show him that, here it is, rather than just typing I made this. I don't know if that makes it any more.
December when you made like $400 one day. She brought that up. And I
Yeah.
remember when you had hit 1,500. I remember that was a milestone.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, guess what? I've doubled my 700. I'm like, really? And that was maybe what, a week or two, maybe 3 weeks after you
Yeah.
had started trading.
Yeah. I mean,
And
it was pretty good.
yeah, then it
Yeah,
was
I
like
haven't had-
5K. Like,
I haven't had a red trade since I've been in trading futures. Let's put it that way. I've had red trades, not red day. So, you know, it was an accumulation of all the training and education and experience and time. Absolutely. Right. Just because, again, you should never compare yourself to anybody, right? You should never compare your income to anybody else's. It's percentage of growth, right?
mhm.
You know, and, you know, I'm still very uncomfortable with talking about it, but I'm happy to help coach with the, let's just face it, to be a PR arm of futures program, right? I'm having
Yeah.
success. I'll guarantee you right now, there's going to be 3 more millionaires happen here real quick, in quick succession. I won't say their names. You know who they are, and they don't talk about it out loud, even though I know they will, right? It's going to happen for the years out. I'll guarantee you that much, right? If they continue doing the same thing. Will it happen quietly? Will they be as visible as me? Maybe after seeing what I'm doing, they probably won't be, right? You know, Coach made a point the other day that, Callie, your mic's open.
Yeah, mute your mic for us, Callie, because we're getting a lot of background noise, honey.
Yeah, that. I got headphones on, earbuds in. You know, and Coach made a point the other day. That, you know, the other millionaires didn't really want for very good reasons, right? They don't want this. I don't want it either. And you know, I've had this discussion with Coach behind the scenes many times, you know, about it, you know. And I guess I just came to the realization I wouldn't be here without Coach. I wouldn't be here without American Dream Training. There's no way. There's no way I could have done this, right? And so, you know, everything I have, I owe to him. That's just pure and simple what it is. So
Absolutely.
now,
You know what I mean?
well,
Because
I
that's
mean,
what's going to help him grow.
yeah, but again, what's one of the biggest things that happens to lottery winners? All the relatives they don't know come crawling out of the woodwork, right?
Right. So I
You know.
do get it.
I get it, right? And I'm all right. I'm a big boy. I can handle myself. We'll
Yeah.
see. Well, if it gets weird, maybe it'll be a different story. But I mean, it's too late now. Cat's out of the bag, right? So, I mean, I've only been running my mouth here for 2 years, right? Now I'm on TikTok, right? I'm a TikToker now, I guess. Is that what that makes me, Ange? A TikToker?
He's a tick toddler.
But
Tick
it
boomer.
is, and you know, everything might have just happened at the right time, right? I was now ready to do this, right? Does that mean you're going to do the same thing? No, it doesn't mean that at all. But if you embrace what Coach teaches and put the time in, yes, it can happen. It will happen. Just give it time. Look at F2. He's trading stocks. You can't make money on penny stocks. What's wrong with you? Look where he's at now, right? He's working every day closer to achieving his ultimate goal, right? And he's going to be there probably sooner than he'll ever believe. He'll wake up and like, wow, I never expected it to happen this quick, right?
Because you're
But he's
trading
doing it.
Apple stocks, right? Apple shares, not options, right? FT?
No, I've been trading Apple options.
Oh, you're doing options
Okay.
now. Okay.
Yeah, I built my account up a little bit, and I'm gradually doing about 10. I've built up to 15 options per trade and stuff, and
15 contracts.
yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
that's pretty good.
Congratulations. Still make you uncomfortable trading options? You getting comfortable now?
Yes, but I'm working through it, and you know I've got my stop set and stuff, so
Good. Good for you. Yeah, that's
I
another
usually
tool in your tool belt, right? When you're ready, come over and we'll fix a special batch of Kool-Aid just for you over here in the futures.
I
I
knew
do
the
like
pitch
some
was going to
Kool-Aid.
happen.
So
Well,
I do like some Kool-Aid.
we make it extra strong now because once they taste it, they don't ever want to go back.
It's true. I'm addicted to the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, but it's just another tool in your tool belt. Is it for everyone? Well, you know, maybe not, but maybe it is. You don't know till you're ready to come try it out, right? And give it your best and do it. It was a game changer for me. It was eye opening that all my preconceived notions about how risky it is and I could lose my house because I'm trading on margin. All that's untrue, right? Could it hypothetically happen on paper? Sure, right? But as long as you're using stops, it'll never happen, right? You control your downside. The upside's unlimited, just like it is trading stocks or trading stock options. So you do that. I mean, that's just the basic things that coach teaches. So, all right. So anyway, I don't know if anybody else has any questions. I don't know.
If you guys got a couple questions before we get out of here, come on up on the panel. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and call it a night, because I know Mark has family that he wants to get to, and it's getting late. Callie, thanks for coming on. F2, thanks for coming on. Mark, yeah, I'm so proud of you, dude. Just keep inspiring us the way that you do, because we are all here for it.
Yep. One person at a time. I mean, let's face it, 80% or 90% of our members are trading stocks and stock options. There's money there too. So this is just another tool that you can put in your tool belt when you're ready for it. Right?
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. All right. And they can find you where, Mark? On TikTok?
Well, I'm live on American Dream Talk. Hang on. Let's try this again. We are live on American Dream Trading, AmericanDreamTrading.com 3 times daily. Coaches live from 9 to 11 Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. I'm live with the Futures and Education Training Program from 2 to 4 p.m. daily, Monday through Friday. And you have the Aftermarket Show with Dawn starting at 5 p.m. daily Eastern Time. Check it out. Upon completion of all these live broadcasts, they're immediately available for review on our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading. Check it out. Come on over to, if you're interested in futures, you're welcome to watch free on the lives every single day. Believe me, it's just the tip of the iceberg of what we do here each and every day, as it is with Coach, as it is with the Aftermarket. You're only getting a taste. Why are you only getting a taste? Well, obviously, we want you to become a paid member of AmericanDreamTrading.com. We want you to get one of those memberships when you're ready to up your education, because it is like getting a master's degree in the financial world. And it will change your life if you allow it and you follow the rules, put in the time and the effort. It's not easy. We all know 90 to 95% of day traders fail, right, in 1 to 2 years. Why is that? Because they do not have the foundation. They don't have a good mentor. They don't have the educational opportunities available, and they don't have this great community to help back you up when you need to ask questions, right? We celebrate the wins. We celebrate the ones that make $1.2 million a day in one trade. And we also celebrate those that make $5 a day in a green trade. It's all about count size, baby. It don't matter what it is. If me and F2 enter the same trade at the same time and we exit at the same time, we are going to make the exact same percentage gains, right? Only difference is the bank account size. Everybody starts small and you build up every day. It's all math. That's all it is. $5 here, $8 there, $10 here. Do that every day. Do that multiple times a day. It builds your account over time. Problem is people aren't patient. You got to be patient and give it time, right?
That's it.
Took me 6 months to get where I'm at, right? Little by little by little. So embrace what Coach teaches, follow it to the rule, the letter, come in with an empty cup and learn. Same way if you're learning to trade stocks for the first time or stock options, crypto. Them crypto kitty guys over there, them guys are nuts. You ought to see the stuff they trade over there. And I'll tell you what, I went to one of the live Zoom calls that they had one night, and I'm like, I could do this too. So I'll probably be opening a crypto account here one of these days. And there was a couple, I don't know all the intricacies. I mean, I've owned Bitcoin and stuff, but they were showing me their chart. I can do it. You know why? Because a chart is a chart is a chart. If you know how to effectively create a chart based on historical information and understand Coach's trading strategies and principles and follow his rules, you can trade crypto, you can trade futures, you can trade stock options, and you can trade stocks. I would venture to guess, even though I don't know a thing about it, that I could trade bonds if I wanted to get into the bond market. I have no doubt in my mind. Whatever's out there, I guarantee I could trade it now, right?
Nice.
All by listening to the sound of that old guy on TikTok's voice, not me, Coach. So
nice. Way to go, Mark.
especially with that diamond membership. That's just crazy. I mean,
mean,
a standalone mentorship, which is 1 day a week, is $6,000 with the coach. Spend an hour with coach. 1 hour a week is $6,000 for the year for that standalone. Now it's worth every penny and 10 times that. Don't get me wrong, but he's giving away the diamond memberships for $5,000, and that
It's a
gets you
no-brainer.
not only that $6,000 mentorship, it gets you the gold breakout rooms. It gets you the VIP gold complete. That's $8,000 for a lifetime. It gets you the premium, which is $750 for a lifetime now. Futures is $4,000 for a lifetime. Crypto's $4,000 for a. Why would you buy anything but the diamond? Sell your wife, sell the kids, sell the house, sell a kidney, sell the neighbor's kidney, sell the neighbor's car, kidnap and sell the neighbor's dog. Whatever you got to do, get that diamond membership and get it today, because he's already stated more than once publicly those are about to go away.
it's going
And
away.
one thing I know in the this is my third year now going, when coach starts saying something verbally, it's about to end. And there's going to be a lot of tears. There's going to be a lot of begging. Oh, coach, I missed it by a day. Can I come in? And you know what his answer is going to be? Nah.
Nope.
So I don't care what you got to do. Grab that diamond membership. It is by far the best value of anything that's ever been created here at AmericanDreamTrading.com. All right, is that enough sales?
Sell the metal, Mark. Sell that
the metal,
brother.
baby. Let's go. Where's Eric at? Let's go.
Let's go. All right, everybody. Thank you all for coming and listening to Mark's story. It is, I never will get tired of hearing it. I don't get tired of being around him. He is amazing. Everybody down there in the chat, thank you for being here. Thank you for your questions, your comments. You guys, thanks for coming up on the panel. I'm going to end with Coach's rules as I normally do. And again, go to AmericanDreamTrading.com to get signed up. That link is pinned to the top of the live chat, and it's also located in the description of the video for those of you watching the replay game.
Hey, I got
Peace and blessings.
Hang on.
Yeah, what's up?
I forgot something. Hey, Vegan Knowledge, I see you's here. I'm sorry, darling, but you are my favorite. I didn't get the chance to say that. See ya.
Hey, Mark. Did he go?
He done left. He done
left? Hey, F2.
Hey, what?
Got any grapes?
Please follow the rules. Nobody go rogue. Some of the rules that we have to and live and die by in here is do not lose more than 1 to 3% of your total account value in any given day. Make sure you have stop losses on each and every trade, regardless of shares and or options. Make sure you guys are practicing small base hits. Don't go for home runs. Allow the runners to run and stop out the losers. If you're a new trader, make sure you are paper trading using a simulated trading system such as Webull or some of the other ones that are out there. If you are an expert trader, please make sure you also are being careful the first 3 minutes and the last 8 to 9 minutes of the day. Those are the absolute most volatile times in the entire market. Also, if you're a newer trader, please don't trade in the first 30 minutes or the last hour of the day. Those are the most dangerous times.